The book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 47. The word of the Lord that came unto Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines, before that Pharaoh smote Gaza. Thus says the Lord, Behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein, the city and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl, at the noise of the stamping of the hooves of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, and at the rumbling of his wheels. The fathers shall not look back to their children, nor feebleness of hands, because of the day that comes to spoil the Philistines, and to cut off from Tyrus and Zidon every helper that remains. For the Lord will spoil the Philistines, the remnant of the country of Caphtor. Baldness is upon Gaza. Ashkelon is cut off with the remnant of their valley. How long wilt thou cut thyself? O thou sword of the Lord, how long will it be ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into thy scabbard, rest and be still. How can it be quiet, seeing the Lord has given it a charge against Ashkelon, and against the seashore? There has he appointed it. Chapter 48. Against Moab, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Woe unto Nebo, for it is spoiled. Kirikathaim is confounded and taken. Misgab is confounded and dismayed. There shall be no more praise of Moab. In Heshbon they have devised evil against it. Come, and let us cut it off from being a nation. Also thou shalt cut it down, O madman, the sword shall pursue thee. A voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling the great destruction. Moab is destroyed. Her little ones have caused a cry to be heard. For in the going up of Luhith, continual weeping shall go up. For in the going down of Horonaim, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. Flee, save your lives, and be like the heath of the wilderness. For because thou hast trusted in thy works and in thy treasures, thou shalt also be taken. And Chemosh shall go forth into captivity with his priests and his princes together. And the spoiler shall come upon every city, and no city shall escape. The valley also shall perish, and the plain shall be destroyed, and as the Lord has spoken. Give wings unto Moab, that it may flee and get away, for the cities thereof shall be desolate, without any to dwell therein. Cursed be he that does the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keeps back his sword from blood. Moab has been at ease from his youth, and he has settled on the lees, and has not been emptied from vessel to vessel, neither has he gone into captivity. Therefore his taste remained in him, and his scent is not changed. Therefore, behold, the days come, says the Lord, that I will send unto him wanderers, that shall cause him to wander, and shall empty his vessels, and break their bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed in Chemosh, and the house of Israel was ashamed in Bethel, their confidence. How say ye, We are mighty and strong men of war? Moab is spoiled and gone out of her cities, and the chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter, says the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction has fast. All ye that are about him bemoan him, and all ye that know his name say, How is the strong staff broken, and the beautiful rod? Thou daughter that does inhabit Dibon, come down from thy glory, and sit and thirst, for the spoiler of Moab shall come up upon thee, and he shall destroy thy strongholds. O inhabitant of Orar, stand by the way, and Espi, ask him that flees, and her that escapes, and say, What is done? Moab is confounded, for it is broken down. Howl and cry, tell ye it in Arnon, that Moab is spoiled. And judgment is upon the plain country, upon Holon, and upon Jahazah, and upon Mephahath, and upon Dibon, and upon Nebo, and upon Beth Diblaim, and upon Kirithaim, and upon Beth Gimul, and upon Beth Meon, and upon Kirioth, and upon Basra, and upon the cities of the land of Moab, far and near. The horn of Moab is cut off, and his arm is broken, says the Lord. Make ye him drunken, for he magnified himself against the Lord. Moab also shall swallow in his vomit, and also shall be in dispersion. For was not Israel a dispersion unto thee? Was he found among thieves? For since thou speaks of him, thou skippest for joy. O ye that dwell in Moab, leave the cities, and dwell on the rock, and be like the dove that makes the nest at the sides of the holes of the mouth. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceeding proud, his loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride, that the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, says the Lord, but it shall not be so. His lies shall not so affect it. Therefore will I howl for Moab, and I will cry out for all Moab. My heart shall mourn the men of Kirhiz. O vine of Shibma, I will weep for thee with the weeping of Jazer. The plants are gone over the sea. They reach even unto the sea of Jazer. The spoiler is fallen upon the summer fruits and upon the vintage. And joy and gladness is taken from the plentiful field, from the land of Moab, and I have caused wine to fall from wine presses. None shall tread with shouting, their shouting shall be no shouting. From the cry of Heshbon, even unto Eliah, and even unto Jahaz, have they uttered their voice. From Zoar, even unto Hornaim, as a heifer of 3 years old, for the waters also of Nearim shall be desolate. Moreover, I will cause to cease in Moab, says the Lord, him that offers in the high places, and him that burns incense to his gods. Therefore mine heart shall sound for Moab like pipes, and my heart shall sound like pipes for the men of Kirhiz, because the riches that he has gotten are perished. For every head shall be bald, and every beard clipped. Upon all the hands shall be cuttings, and upon the loins sackcloth. There shall be lamentation generally upon all the housetops of Moab, and in the streets thereof, for I have broken Moab like a vessel, wherein is no pleasure, says the Lord. They shall howl, saying, how is it broken down? How has Moab turned the back with shame? So shall Moab be a dispersion and a dismaying to all them about him. For thus says the Lord, behold, he shall fly as an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Kerioth is taken, and the land strongholds are surprised, and the mighty men's hearts in Moab, and all the day that shall be the heart of women in her pangs. And Moab shall be destroyed from being a people, because he has magnified himself against the Lord. Fear and the pit and the snare shall be upon thee, an inhabitant of Moab, says the Lord. He that flees from the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that gets up out of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For I will bring upon it, even upon Moab, the year of visitation, says the Lord. They that fled stood under the shadow of Heshbon because of the force, but a fire shall come forth out of Heshbon, and the flame from the midst of Shion, and shall devour the corner of Moab, and the crown of the head of the tumultuous ones. Woe be unto thee, O Moab! The people of Chemosh perish, for the sons are taken captives, and thy daughters captives. Yet will I bring again the captives of Moab in the latter days, says the Lord. Thus far is the judgment of Moab. This is the word of the Lord. Thank you, Lord. I love you with all my heart. In your loving name I pray. Amen.